First and last name.
Right?
Can you spell your first and last name, please?
James Hayes, James-Hayes.
And your title, OSA?
Political Director, Ohio Student Association.
If you could go over again really quick what the purpose of your meeting today with the chief was.
Yes, last Friday, a number of our organizers met with Chief Dennis Evers and some of his captains to ask him 3 questions. What, if anything, will be done regarding Officer Sean Williams, the officer who shot and killed John Crawford on August the 5th? This is the 2nd time in 4 years he has shot and killed somebody in this area. It is clear to us that he is not fit to be a police officer in this department. He needs to find a new line of work. We also asked what will happen to the 911 caller Ronald Ritchie, whose blatant lies led to the death of 2 people inside of that Walmart. We asked if the department agrees with us that the training and protocols their officers receive regarding lethal use of force must be reviewed. The purpose of this meeting was to give the chief and his leadership team and their legal counsel the opportunity to answer those questions and to tell us if what they will do in regards to our demands. We have 3 demands: that the department fire or disarm, at the very least, this officer Sean Williams, who has now taken 2 lives in this area. We have demanded that the department do something in regards to the 911 caller Ronald Ritchie, to hold him accountable for his action, his lies, which led to 2 deaths. And we've demanded that the department work with us to overhaul and strengthen the training and protocols that officers receive all around the state. Chief Evers and the Beaver Creek Police Department have decided to not do anything in regards to Officer Sean Williams at this time. They are saying that they must wait until after the Department of Justice has finished its investigation and release their findings. But we know that there is still a Department of Justice investigation out in the Trayvon Martin case. So this is another example of justice delayed, justice denied. We understand that the police chief has the power and the ability to act in this instance. He has the ability to recommend that this officer be penalized for something. We learned in this latest meeting that while he is on desk duty, he still has his service weapon, and they are not taking that service weapon from him, even though he is on desk duty and not interacting with the public at all. And again, the reasoning behind that is that there was a quote that there is not just cause to take those actions in this case. Until the Department of Justice returns with their findings, there will not be just cause. Though there is a videotape, there has been an investigation with evidence that shows that Sean Williams, on his statement, indicated that there was an aggressive action John Crawford made that the tape does not show. And it's another example of how a system of criminal justice is working against people like myself, young people of color in this country.
What about Mr. Ritchie?
We learned that the department will not take any action regarding 911 caller Ronald Ritchie. They've said that they turned the investigation over to the Bureau of Criminal Investigation, which our Attorney General Mike DeWine oversees, and so they are washing their hands of this and saying that it is not their problem any longer.
What message does this send out, you think, the result of today's meeting?
It sends the message that it's time for a systematic change. The individuals in this police department are individuals much like you'll find all across the state. They are not especially bad people, but there is a system in place which produces regular, consistent, and predictable outcomes. That's why we create systems as people, to produce regular, consistent, and predictable outcomes. And we see on a regular and consistent basis what the system is doing to people like myself all across the state and all across this country. And it's time for those of us who are upset by this system, upset by the system of law and order, which is not in place to preserve justice or promote justice, but instead in place to promote the status quo. And the status quo would see us go home. The status quo would see people go back to their regular lives. The status quo is what led to John Crawford being gunned down inside that police department.
When you say people like us, or people like myself, what do you mean?
I mean young people of color, especially black youth and brown youth, who the criminal justice system is targeting and harming in alarming rates. It's a crisis in this country.
What's next for you guys? I mean, you didn't get what you wanted today, so what's next?
Well, we are going to talk about that. We came down. We have to talk as a team about the immediate next steps we want to take today in regards to the occupation that we've been engaging in since Monday. But we're also putting a call out to everyone around the state who is upset by what has happened, not only today, but for the last several months, to come to Columbus on October 18th at noon, to come to the State House, the seat of power, the place where laws are enacted and enforced in our state, to make our voices heard to the people who we have the power and responsibility to elect and hold accountable.
What time?
12 o'clock, noon.